For decades, society believed that intelligence was measured by a single number, IQ. A number that claimed to predict your success, your career, your income, and even your happiness. But life told a different story. Some people with high IQs struggled in relationships, failed as leaders, and felt emotionally lost. Meanwhile, others with average intelligence built meaningful lives, strong careers, and deep human connections. So what was the missing piece? Daniel Goleman, in his groundbreaking book Emotional Intelligence, reveals a powerful truth. Success in life depends far more on how we manage emotions than how smart we are. This book changed psychology, education, leadership, and personal development forever. In part 1, we will explore what emotional intelligence really is, why IQ alone is not enough, how emotions shape every decision we make, the science behind the emotional brain, the problem with IQ. For most of the 20th century, IQ was treated like destiny. Schools ranked students by test scores. Companies hired based on academic performance. Parents judged children by grades. But research began to reveal something uncomfortable. High IQ did not guarantee career success, strong relationships, mental health, ethical behavior. In fact, many highly intelligent people struggled with anger, failed to handle stress, had poor social skills, made destructive decisions. Goleman points out a shocking fact. IQ accounts for only about 20% of life success. The remaining 80% depends on other factors, especially emotional skills. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence, EI or EQ, is the ability to recognize your own emotions, understand what others are feeling, manage emotional reactions, use emotions to guide thinking and behavior. In simple words, emotional intelligence is being smart with feelings. It is not about suppressing emotions. It is about understanding, controlling, and using them wisely. The two brains we all have. One of the most powerful ideas in this book is that the human brain has two operating systems. The thinking brain, neocortex, logic, reason, planning, language. The emotional brain, limbic system, fear, anger, pleasure, love, survival instincts. The emotional brain evolved millions of years before the thinking brain. That means emotions often react faster than logic. The amygdala hijack. At the center of emotional reactions is a small structure called the amygdala. Its job is survival. When the brain senses danger, the amygdala takes control. Logic shuts down. The body enters fight, flight, or freeze mode. This is called an amygdala hijack. Examples: exploding in anger during an argument, panic during a stressful moment, saying things you regret later. In these moments, emotion hijacks reason. Why emotional control matters. People with high emotional intelligence pause before reacting, recognize emotional triggers, calm themselves under pressure, choose responses instead of reacting automatically. They still feel emotions, but emotions do not control them. This skill alone separates great leaders from poor managers, healthy relationships from toxic ones, calm minds from anxious lives. Emotions are data, not enemies. One of the biggest myths is emotions are irrational and dangerous. Goleman strongly disagrees. Emotions are signals. Fear warns us of danger. Anger signals injustice. Sadness signals loss. Joy signals alignment. The problem is not emotions themselves. The problem is unawareness. Emotional intelligence can be learned. Unlike IQ, which is mostly fixed, emotional intelligence is trainable. This is revolutionary. That means you are not stuck with your emotional habits. You can rewire emotional responses. Growth is possible at any age. Schools can teach it. Parents can model it. Adults can develop it. Why this book matters today. In today's world, stress is constant. Attention is fragmented. Social skills are declining. Mental health issues are rising. Emotional intelligence is no longer optional. It is a life skill. Intelligence is not just about how smart you are. It is about how well you understand and manage emotions. Now, Daniel Goleman takes this idea further. He breaks emotional intelligence into 5 core components. These 5 skills determine how we handle stress, build relationships, lead others, stay motivated, make decisions. These components are not personality traits. They are skills, and skills can be developed. Let's explore each one deeply. Self-awareness, knowing what you feel when you feel it. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. If you don't understand your own emotions, you cannot control them. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the ability to recognize your emotions in real time. Understand why you feel a certain way. Notice how emotions affect your thoughts and actions. A self-aware person can say, "I am angry and I know why." I feel anxious, not because of reality, but because of fear. My mood is influencing my decision. Most people feel emotions, but very few understand them. Why self-awareness is rare. Many people live on emotional autopilot. They say things like, I don't know why I'm upset. I just reacted without thinking. That's just how I am. Goleman explains, when emotions are unconscious, they control us. Without self-awareness, anger becomes aggression, fear becomes avoidance, stress becomes burnout. Types of emotional awareness. Daniel Goleman identifies 3 styles. Self-aware people. Acknowledge emotions honestly. Reflect before reacting. Understand emotional patterns. These people have better mental health, stronger decision-making, higher confidence. Engulfed people. Overwhelmed by emotions, unable to step back. Mood controls behavior. They say, I can't help it. My emotions take over. Emotionally unaware people. Ignore feelings. Suppress emotions. Deny emotional impact. These people often develop stress-related illness. Damage relationships unknowingly. Self-awareness is the starting point. You cannot regulate what you do not recognize. Self-awareness answers the question, what am I feeling right now? Without it, emotional intelligence cannot exist. Self-regulation, managing emotions instead of being controlled by them. Self-regulation is what happens after awareness. It is the ability to control impulsive reactions, pause before responding, calm yourself under pressure. This does not mean suppressing emotions. It means choosing how to express them. Why emotional control matters. People who lack self-regulation explode in anger, say things they regret, make impulsive decisions, damage trust. One emotional outburst can ruin a career, end a relationship, destroy credibility. Goleman emphasizes, emotional self-control is the key to integrity. The power of the pause. Highly emotionally intelligent people create space between emotion and action. That space allows reason to return, perspective to form, better choices to emerge. This pause is what separates reaction from response, conflict from resolution, managing negative emotions. Self-regulation includes handling anger, managing anxiety, coping with sadness, controlling frustration. Techniques include deep breathing, reframing thoughts, delaying reactions, redirecting attention, emotional flexibility. Self-regulation also means adaptability. Life is unpredictable. Emotionally intelligent people adjust instead of resisting, accept change instead of fighting it, stay calm during uncertainty. This flexibility is essential in leadership, parenting, relationships, high-pressure environments. Motivation, using emotions to drive purpose and persistence. Motivation and emotional intelligence is internal, not external. It is not about rewards or status. It is about inner drive. Emotionally intelligent motivation. People with high EI are motivated by meaning, growth, curiosity, purpose. They pursue goals because the goal itself matters. Delayed gratification. One of the most powerful emotional skills is the ability to delay pleasure for long-term success. Goleman connects this to the famous marshmallow experiment. Children who could wait had better academic outcomes, higher emotional stability, greater life success. This skill is emotional, not intellectual. Optimism and resilience. Emotionally intelligent motivation includes hope during difficulty, persistence after failure, optimism during setbacks. Failure is not seen as, I am not good enough, but as, this is feedback I can learn. Motivation fuels mastery. High EI individuals stay focused longer, work through boredom, improve consistently. They are not driven by mood, they are driven by meaning. Empathy, understanding the emotions of others. Empathy is the ability to sense what others feel, understand emotional signals, respond with care and respect. It is not sympathy. Empathy is understanding, not agreeing. Why empathy is essential. Empathy is the foundation of relationships, leadership, parenting, teamwork. Without empathy, communication breaks down, trust disappears, conflict escalates, emotional signals are everywhere. People communicate emotions through facial expressions, tone of voice, body language, silence. Emotionally intelligent people listen beyond words, notice subtle cues, read emotional context, empathy in leadership. Great leaders are emotionally attuned. They sense team morale, address emotional tension early, inspire trust and loyalty. Goleman shows empathetic leaders outperform authoritarian ones. Empathy is a skill, not a trait. Empathy can be learned by active listening, curiosity about others, suspending judgment, being present Social skills. Managing relationships effectively. Social skills are the outward expression of emotional intelligence. They include communication, conflict resolution, influence, cooperation, emotional intelligence, and action. Social skills allow people to navigate disagreements calmly, build rapport quickly, inspire and persuade, maintain long-term relationships, conflict management. Emotionally intelligent people address issues early, stay calm during disagreement, focus on solutions, not blame. They understand winning an argument can mean losing a relationship. Influence without force. Socially skilled people influence through understanding, lead through trust, persuade through empathy. This is the highest form of leadership. How the 5 components work together. These 5 skills are connected. Self-awareness, recognize emotion. Self-regulation, control reaction. Motivation, direct energy. Empathy, understand others. Social skills, build connection. Together, they form emotional intelligence. In the first 2 parts, we learned what emotional intelligence is, why it matters more than IQ, the 5 core emotional skills. Now Daniel Goleman asks a critical question. Where do emotional skills come from? The answer is simple, but powerful. They are learned early in life. Childhood is where emotional habits are formed. Home and school become emotional classrooms. In part 3, we explore how children learn emotions, the role of parents, the role of schools, why modern society is facing an emotional crisis, the emotional lessons of childhood. Children are not born knowing how to handle emotions. They learn by watching adults, experiencing reactions, being guided or ignored. Every emotional moment teaches a lesson. How children learn emotions. Children learn emotional behavior through how parents react to stress, how conflict is handled at home, whether feelings are accepted or dismissed. A child who hears, "Stop crying, it's nothing," learns, emotions are wrong, feelings should be hidden. A child who hears, "I see you're upset, let's talk," learns, emotions are valid, problems can be solved calmly. Emotional styles of parenting. Daniel Goleman describes 4 parenting styles that shape a child's emotional intelligence. Emotion dismissing parents. These parents ignore children's emotions, minimize feelings, focus only on behavior. They say, "You're overreacting. It's not a big deal." Children raised this way suppress emotions, struggle with emotional awareness, have difficulty managing stress. Emotion disapproving parents. These parents criticize emotional expression, punish emotional reactions, see emotions as weakness. Children learn shame around feelings, fear of emotional expression, anger or withdrawal. Laissez-faire parents. These parents accept emotions but offer no guidance, set no boundaries. Children may feel emotions intensely, lack self-control, struggle with discipline. Emotion coaching parents, best style. Emotion coaching parents recognize emotions as teaching moments, help children label feelings, guide them toward solutions. They teach it's okay to feel angry, it's not okay to hurt others. Let's find a better way. Children raised this way develop strong emotional intelligence, handle stress better, build healthier relationships. Why emotional intelligence starts at home. The home is a child's first emotional school. Children learn how anger is expressed, how sadness is handled, how conflict is resolved. Parents are emotional role models. Children copy. Tone, reactions, coping strategies. Even silence teaches something. The emotional crisis in modern childhood. Goleman warns of a growing emotional crisis. Research shows increases in anxiety, depression, aggression, loneliness, attention problems. Despite higher IQ scores, emotional skills are declining. Causes of the emotional decline: less family time, more screen exposure, reduced face-to-face interaction, academic pressure without emotional support. Children are taught how to pass exams, but not how to handle failure, how to manage emotions. Why schools must teach emotional intelligence. Traditional education focuses on math, science, reading, but ignores emotional regulation, empathy, social skills. Goleman argues emotional education is as important as academic education. Emotional literacy in schools. Emotional literacy programs teach identifying emotions, managing anger, handling conflict, building empathy. Children learn, what am I feeling? Why do I feel this way? How can I respond better? The power of social emotional learning, SEL. Schools that teach SEL see better academic performance, less violence, improved behavior, stronger cooperation. Emotionally intelligent children learn better, focus longer, handle stress effectively, Teaching emotional skills is preventive. Teaching EI early prevents substance abuse, violence, dropout rates, mental health issues. Prevention is easier than repair. Emotional intelligence and bullying. Bullying is an emotional failure. Both bullies and victims lack emotional skills. EI education helps. Bullies learn empathy. Victims gain confidence. Bystanders act responsibly. Long-term impact of childhood EI. Children with high emotional intelligence build stronger relationships, handle stress better, perform better at work, experience better mental health. Emotional habits formed early shape the entire life. So far, we have learned what emotional intelligence is, the 5 core emotional skills, how emotional intelligence develops in childhood. Now Daniel Goleman takes emotional intelligence into the real world, because emotional intelligence is not just a theory. It shows up every day in marriages, friendships, offices, teams, leadership. In part 4, we will explore how emotions shape relationships, why emotional intelligence matters at work, what makes a great leader emotionally intelligent, emotional intelligence in personal relationships. Relationships do not fail because of lack of love. They fail because of poor emotional communication, unmanaged anger, lack of empathy, emotional misunderstandings, emotional awareness in relationships. Every relationship has emotions underneath words. Often, conflicts are not about money, time, responsibility. They are about feeling unappreciated, feeling unheard, feeling disrespected. Emotionally intelligent partners listen for emotions, not just facts. Respond to feelings, not accusations. The cost of emotional blindness. When emotions are ignored, small issues become big conflicts. Resentment builds silently. Emotional distance grows. Many couples argue about surface issues, while the real emotional needs stay unmet. Emotionally intelligent communication. High EI communication includes expressing feelings clearly, listening without interrupting, validating emotions, staying calm during conflict. Instead of saying, "You never listen," they say, "I feel ignored when I'm not heard." This reduces defensiveness and increases connection. Managing conflict with emotional intelligence. Conflict is unavoidable, but damage is optional. Emotional hijack in arguments. During conflict, the amygdala activates, logic shuts down, defensiveness increases. This leads to yelling, blaming, saying hurtful things. Emotionally intelligent people recognize emotional escalation, pause the conversation, return when calm. Repair is more important than being right. Goleman highlights, successful relationships focus on repair, not victory. Apologies, empathy, and understanding heal emotional wounds. Being right is less important than being connected. Emotional intelligence in the workplace. Workplaces are emotional environments. Even when emotions are hidden, they still exist. Why IQ is not enough at work. High IQ does not guarantee teamwork, leadership, stress management. Workplace success depends on emotional self-control, empathy, communication, collaboration. Emotional competence predicts success. Studies show top performers have higher emotional intelligence. Leadership effectiveness is strongly emotional. The higher you go in an organization, the more emotional skills matter. Self-awareness and self-control at work. Emotionally intelligent employees manage frustration, handle criticism, stay calm under pressure. They do not let ego control reactions, stress control decisions, handling feedback emotionally, low EI reaction, defensiveness, anger, excuses, high EI reaction, curiosity, reflection, growth mindset. Feedback becomes information, not an attack. Empathy in professional life. Empathy is not weakness at work. It is strength. Empathy improves performance. Empathetic leaders understand team needs, notice burnout early, build trust. Employees feel valued, understood, motivated. This increases productivity, loyalty, innovation, emotional climate of teams. Every team has an emotional tone. Leaders shape this tone through their mood, their reactions, their communication style. Negative emotional climates increase stress, reduce creativity. Positive emotional climates improve collaboration, increase engagement. What makes a great leader emotionally intelligent? Goleman challenges traditional leadership models. Great leaders are not defined by authority, intelligence, control. They are defined by emotional awareness, empathy, integrity, core emotional skills of great leaders, emotionally intelligent leaders, remain calm in crisis, inspire confidence, listen deeply, manage conflict wisely. They understand the emotions are contagious. A leader's mood becomes the team's mood. Leadership styles and emotional impact. Different leadership styles create different emotional outcomes. Authoritarian, fear, obedience. Democratic, engagement, trust. Coaching, growth, loyalty. The best leaders adapt their styles based on emotional awareness, emotional intelligence, and ethics. Low emotional intelligence can lead to abuse of power, manipulation, lack of accountability. Self-awareness and empathy act as moral compasses. Emotionally intelligent leaders consider consequences, value people over ego, lead responsibly. Emotional intelligence in a stressful world. Modern work culture includes pressure, deadlines, competition. EI helps people manage burnout, stay balanced, maintain mental health. Stress is unavoidable. Emotional intelligence determines how we respond. We now understand what emotional intelligence is, why it matters more than IQ, how it develops in childhood, how it shapes relationships, work, and leadership. Now comes the most important question. Can emotional intelligence be improved? Daniel Goleman's answer is clear. Yes, absolutely. Emotional intelligence is not fixed. It is not talent. It is not personality. It is a trainable life skill. Emotional intelligence is a lifelong practice. Unlike IQ, emotional intelligence grows with awareness, improves with practice, deepens with reflection. Every emotional moment becomes a choice, a lesson, an opportunity. Growth happens one response at a time, building self-awareness, learning to recognize emotions in real time. Self-awareness is the first step. You cannot change what you do not notice. Daily emotional check-ins. Emotionally intelligent people regularly ask, what am I feeling right now? Why do I feel this way? How is this emotion influencing my behavior? Naming emotions reduces their power, expanding emotional vocabulary. Many people know only happy, sad, angry, but emotions are complex. Learning words like frustrated, overwhelmed, disappointed, anxious increases emotional clarity. Mindfulness and awareness. Mindfulness strengthens the connection between thought, emotion, action. By observing emotions without judgment, we gain control, improving self-regulation, responding instead of reacting. Self-regulation turns emotional awareness into emotional mastery. The power of delay. Strong emotions demand immediate action. Emotional intelligence teaches pause before you respond. Even a few seconds allow logic to return, perspective to form, better decisions to emerge. Managing anger and stress. Anger and stress are not enemies. They are signals. Techniques include deep breathing, stepping away temporarily, physical movement, cognitive reframing, reframing emotional triggers. Instead of asking, who is wrong? Ask, what is happening inside me? This shift changes everything. Cultivating inner motivation, aligning emotions with purpose. Motivation grows when actions align with values. Finding meaning in effort. Emotionally intelligent people connect daily tasks to purpose. See challenges as growth opportunities. This creates persistence, discipline, long-term success. Optimism as a skill. Optimism is not denial. It is the belief that effort makes a difference. This mindset builds resilience. Failure becomes feedback, not identity. Developing empathy, learning to understand others emotionally. Empathy begins with attention, listening beyond words. Emotionally intelligent listening means full presence, no interruption, no immediate judgment. Often people need understanding, not solutions. Practicing perspective taking. Ask, what might this person be feeling? What might they be experiencing? Empathy reduces conflict and increases connection. Empathy without losing boundaries. Empathy does not mean absorbing others' emotions, ignoring your needs. Healthy empathy includes self-respect, strengthening social skills, turning emotional insight into connection. Social skills are emotional intelligence in action. Emotional honesty. Clear emotional expression builds trust. Instead of blame, express feelings. State needs, invite understanding. Managing conflict constructively. Conflict handled emotionally well strengthens relationships, builds respect. Emotionally intelligent conflict focuses on solutions, understanding, repair. Influence through emotional awareness. People are influenced by how you make them feel. Respect, empathy, and calm communication create lasting impact. Habits that strengthen emotional intelligence. EI grows through small daily habits. reflecting on emotional reactions, apologizing when wrong, listening deeply, practicing patience, learning from mistakes. Consistency matters more than perfection. Emotional intelligence and a meaningful life. Daniel Goleman reminds us, success without emotional intelligence leads to burnout, broken relationships, inner emptiness. Emotional intelligence creates balance, connection, fulfillment. The future of emotional intelligence. In a world of artificial intelligence, rapid change, constant stress, emotional intelligence becomes more valuable, more human, more necessary. The ability to understand emotions will define future leaders and communities. Final summary of the book. Emotional intelligence teaches us that emotions shape decisions, awareness creates choice, self-control builds character, empathy strengthens relationships, emotional skills determine life success. Final closing line. Your emotions are not obstacles to success. They are the path to wisdom, connection, and a life lived with meaning.